Well, I have a 6-channel. It's got 4 inputs. If you ever need to borrow it.
All right.
That looks like an instrument that I can't play.
Oh, it is an instrument. I think you said you can play it.
What, is it a guitar?
Yes.
Oh, I'm very bad at guitar.
Oh, well, see, there was one night when we were out and we were drinking and talking about you being on the podcast and about you writing the podcast jingle or entrance music. And I was like, oh, I have a guitar, but I don't think it's tuned. And you were like, that should be one of our first things.
Do you want to learn how to tune a guitar?
Oh, I can't play a guitar.
Oh, well then. I don't have a tuner on me, so it wouldn't work
Next
anyways.
time. All right.
I came unprepared.
No, well, that's okay.
Also, mandolins fit better in this tight space.
Yes.
So I could literally sing you face to face your jingle.
I like it. And then this is the neon sign that I got the other day.
That's fucking tiny. That's
It's
fucking
tiny.
tiny. Did it say that they were
works.
only 4-inch letters?
No, it didn't. It was not clear. I don't know if I looked into the small print either.
The one
But visual of the
one Julie got's
big.
yeah. I'll have to ask Sadie where she got that.
Yeah, well, on the Amazon thing, the picture of it is deceiving. Like, it looks much bigger. But I don't know if I looked deep enough into the dimensions. So it's kind of like a user error, operating error.
Yeah, it's like ordering a book and then not having the page count, and you don't realize it's only 10 pages.
Oh.
It's like a pamphlet.
Yeah, that's not a book.
Yeah, that's why I wanted the page count.
Is page count?
Sorry, word count.
Word count.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's page counts. Most books do have a page count, right? You can look that up. Mm-hmm. But not the word count.
So why would you? Unless you're me in one moment in time.
I don't know. I feel like other people would maybe think about that. How many words are in this book? But I guess everything is always done by pages with a book. Words are just like essays, schoolwork.
I would like to use it to sound more accomplished. Like I read 47,000 words today. Instead of saying I read, 40 pages.
Who are you using this brag with?
Whoever asks how much I've read lately.
How many times a week
Because the person asking that obviously wants to tell me how much they've read lately. So, just going to play a little game with them.
I like it. I like the preemptive fuck you. I like that planning. All right. So welcome, y'all. Today in the pod, I haven't decided like what word to use. Like in the weeds with me.
In your an opening phrase?
Yeah, like yeah, I keep on because like it's not a pod loft and like that's other kind of.
What's a pod loft?
There's a couple podcasts that I listen to that they talk about pod lofts,
That's
where
weird.
like they have most podcasts start in someone's apartment, kind of like this, and then they like grow and move into real studios. So it's like I've heard people talk about their pod closets. A pod loft, which I'm assuming they have a loft in their house or apartment and they turn it into the recording area.
That makes me think that they have a literal pod, like a spaceship pod.
Oh.
That they're recording in.
I like that idea.
I doubt they are.
Right. But it would be fun.
But you don't have to tell them where you are. It's irrelevant.
Oh, I know. But like today I'm welcoming Matt to the podcast.
Oh.
Like that kind of... Today in the house we have...
To the table.
Yeah. To the mics. That's what I mean. I just haven't found that like key phrase, Every opening's kind of new and different. Because it also is like who I'm talking to is different every time.
Ooh. So I want you to write down 10.
All right.
And then use them all. I'll judge them.
All right. That'll help you write our opening song.
Possibly.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I always end with telling people to find their joy because I'm bossy and I want people to be happy.
So you have an end phrase.
I do.
Find your joy.
Yeah. And I think it's a good reminder to people that it just doesn't happen. Sometimes you have to go out and look for it.
What if they've already found it?
Then you're already up on the day.
It's kind of an insult. Do I look like I've not found my joy?
Yeah, sometimes.
Fair enough.
That's what I mean. Like, if you already found it, good. You don't have to look for it. You're like, bitch, I already did that today.
Shit's been gone for a while.
But if you haven't, you're reminded, like, and it can be, you know, and finding it is like what it's what you want it to be, right? Like, it's that cup of coffee. It's that all the green lights. It's sitting down to dinner with friends. You know what I mean? Like those just like find your joy, like recognize it, appreciate it. It's like a simple phrase that really can change your whole life.
Sorry.
No, I like when you contemplate.
What's the last thing you remember bringing you joy?
Today, I had cultural day at the college I work with, and there was, I don't know, 8 students doing like a Bollywood dance. Oh. And they were all different cultures, like all different races, all different, they were all dressed in traditional garb. So like you're just watching like a little UN happen and they're all laughing and you know what I mean? Like you're watching all these kids that are from such different places sitting or dancing in the basement of this college in Oakland, like just enjoying themselves. And they were all so happy and laughing and the smiles were ginormous. And just to be there for that was like my moment of joy so far today. But I'm lucky. I have lots of them. This is a moment of joy.
I probably have moments of joy.
Like
a lot of them. This is a moment of joy.
Yeah. Like getting to sit down with you because we've talked about it a bunch.
We have.
Like I enjoy talking to you so much because you teach me shit all the time.
Now you're getting my expectations up.
No, I'm not. No, you really do, because your memory is like something I have not, like you just remember things. And like I was saying today.
Some things.
Right. But way more than I do. Like I just don't have a memory for recall. Like you read a book and remember it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have like this vast.
Nonfiction's easier to remember for some reason.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have like this vast, also diverse interests that you go way deep on. Like I have like a lot of interests, but only go deep on a few of them. Like I can surface kind of bullshit my way through most things, but I have like in-depth knowledge of only a few things. Like you have a knowledge that like spans so many different topics and centuries and.
But it's usually on the surface.
It's not.
There are a few things that I dig a little deeper on.
Like you get interested into a subject and you just naturally research it. It's like you like to do homework all the time.
Yeah. Ancient siege warfare.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Like we had a conversation about me starting to plan these trips for Vanya and travel and communal bathing. And the next time I saw you, you were like, well, in this.
Communal bathing? With the guys?
Yeah.
In the bath?
Well, you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to try to bathe like a.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, but even before that, you're like, oh, have you seen this place in Italy? And have you seen this place? And I'm like, no, I haven't. I'm focusing on where I'm going right now. And then I'm like making a list of all the other places I have to look into.
Fair enough.
But you already had like delved into through almost all of it.
I know a little about baths.
Yeah, but it's like your passion.
Which makes me sound kind of weird, actually, because I don't take baths in any sense, ancient or modern.
Strictly shower guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't take baths.
No oil.
No. Oh. No oil scraping.
No.
I
messy.
Like didn't take baths for a long time, and now because I used to get bored in them. If I was like, okay, now what do I do? Like I just sit here. That's it.
I don't think I've taken a bath since I was a kid.
Oh, when I moved out to California, I started taking them all the time because my first place I stayed in, they had 2 huge tubs, and I was like, my body hurts, and my cousin was like, here, take this, like infused bath salts, go take a bath. She's like, you'll feel different. And I felt amazing. And then I got obsessed with them. And then I've just found like better and better products to bathe with. And then I do communal bathing, which is great too. So like now I'm always in a tub or water and I love it. But I still like get worried about being bored in it. Like my phone is in the bathroom. Sometimes I set my laptop up on
So the bath itself doesn't quite bring you enough joy.
No. But I also have ADHD, so I need like 6 different things to pay attention to in order to be calm.
Isn't that the point, though?
What?
To try and only think about one thing? You can't think about nothing. That's just impossible.
Yeah.
And I guess there's a couple things you're thinking about when you take a bath.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And there's times that I.
Don't drown.
Yeah.
Don't pee because you're sitting in it.
Yeah, that would be gross.
Yeah.
Don't gamble on a fart.
No.
No. It'd be very, very icky.
But yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I like to have, sometimes I'll set my laptop up and watch a TV show. And I mean, on occasion, I just have music playing and I'm like probably smoking a bowl and having some tea or something. But like a lot of times I need the other distractions and you don't. Like, you don't need a lot of distractions. Well, yeah, but even in life, like my bath is kind of a metaphor for the way I live my life. I always have like multiple things going on where you can like focus on things, which is, I don't know. It's
something. I do have a lot of distractions. I almost thought about buying a lyre today. I don't need a lyre.
Is this a person? Like,
That's an instrument. It's yet another instrument.
How many instruments do you play with right now? I'm saying
0,
play with because
I didn't know what we were doing.
No, not in this moment, you dick.
Just the mandolin, basically. A little bit of banjo.
Okay.
4-string banjo.
How many instruments do you own?
Too many.
Yeah, see, that was a better way to phrase that question.
Mandolins, couple mandolins. I just bought a new one. It's actually my favorite. But I'm going to give one to Mark. So 4, 5 mandolins.
A banjo.
2 banjos. 5-string and 4-string. Ook bass. A cello. Some guitars. And a guzla.
What's a guzla?
It's a 1-stringed Balkan instrument. Ooh. I think it's actually the national instrument of Serbia.
Oh.
But don't quote me on that.
Okay. Do you want to go to a Balkan night of music?
That seems very specific. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Oh.
I know the woman that puts it on because she is from Serbia.
Really?
Yes. She's married to a Russian from Siberia. So I always have to stop myself because I'm like, it sounds too similar.
What sounds too similar?
Siberia and
Serbia.
I don't know why my brain always just pauses.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, then she would possibly know. I think most cultures in that area, eventually they started using 2-stringed instruments. I got into some Mongolian folk music.
Ooh.
Oh, that shit's awesome. Throat singing and jaw harping. Oh, I have 2 jaw harp. That's an instrument.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to see what that is because I can't.
Again, I could have had one.
I know.
Next time.
Well, this won't be your only appearance.
No. But I'm actually going to bring the guzla out tonight for the first time because I think I've got it tuned.
Nice.
But it's not going to stay in tune very long.
1 string is really hard to keep in tune, or?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's horsehair. So it's basically, it's not a very pleasant sounding instrument. Okay. I'm going to be honest. If you search it and, maybe Wikipedia, I think it says in not so many words, it's an acquired taste, the sound. It's been called screechy.
Oh, it's an interesting adjective for that instrument.
But apparently they use them to accompany epic poetry.
Oh.
So.
It's the...
I'm sure I can fit it in somewhere.
Yep.
We'll see. I'll let you know how it goes.
I will. Yeah, I want to know. Well, and maybe
it'll definitely be featured on Webster Street Tapes.
I was just going to say, we'll definitely be able to hear it.
At some point.
Yeah. Webster Street Tapes is your new kind of, it's just being birthed. Yeah. I mean, the idea has been around for a while and you've been collecting some audio for a while.
Yeah, I got some good stuff. Hope to get more. But yeah, it's Drew and I kind of came up with it. I realized there's a lot of musicians on Webster Street.
There is.
And they always just kind of hang out and play on Webster Street.
Well, I think there was a couple guys who kind of started that.
Who's that?
You and Drew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys like often after open mic would hang out.
Mark.
Mark too.
Mark is very much a person who influenced the let's just hang out and play music outside.
Yeah.
Wednesdays tonight should be actually pretty good because it might be our first and only practice for Saturday.
Oh, what kind of show do you have on Saturday?
It's a 420 show at Fireside.
Oh, that's right. With Jethro, right?
Jethro, yeah.
Anna's man.
Mm-hmm.
Anna and I just did an episode that will come out before this one.
With him?
No, just Anna and I talking about her life, and that's where we got some of the things that we've been trying to rope you into. And Anna's dad just passed away, so I know it's so sad. She's back in the DR taking care of that, and we send her and all her family love.
Yeah,
her dad sounds like he was an incredible guy.
Yeah,
I mean she's dope, so he has to be. I mean,
yeah,
not has to be, but
yeah,
it helps. So I didn't know that Anna was not actually from the DR. Like, she didn't grow up there. I thought she grew up there and then moved here. But she grew up in South Dakota.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Sorry, I for some reason I was thinking Democratic Republic and was waiting for
not the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, gotcha, okay.
Yeah, no. She was, I thought she...
Well, she was born there, right? Or no? She was born in South Dakota.
Yes.
I knew she grew up there.
Yeah. I thought she grew up in it because she's every time as long as I've known her, when she goes home to see her parents, they're in the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. So I just automatically thought that's where she grew up. And then when we were here talking about it, I learned so much.
I think when I met her, I think I said, "You might be the only person I know from South Dakota," and she said, "Everyone says that." I didn't mean it to be original. I was just stating a fact.
Right. Yeah. When people always state the same thing to you when they meet you, I think it just gets old.
I don't have any fun facts
about
me that people say.
Nothing about like being a Georgia peach or anything?
No, people meet people from Georgia all the time.
Yeah, that's true. You grew up in Georgia, and then when did you move out to California?
In 2015.
What made you come out here?
A job.
Yeah, you do a really interesting job. I think it's interesting.
The one I do now?
Yeah.
It is. 3 jobs later.
Yeah, but because you... I know what you do, but like, I, for the longest time, knew you ordered like equipment.
Have you been talking to Linda?
No.
Okay, good. Continue.
What?
No, just keep going.
Well, I knew that you you were like kind of the inventory guy and it's not a good way to explain it though. All right, why don't you tell us what you do?
I do supply chain.
Yeah, okay.
I find things and I buy things.
Yes, but what can you tell us? Do you have to get permission to talk about your job? I should have asked you that before we sat down. I mean, that's not really why we're here to talk about more like.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't. To my knowledge, I don't know of anything that's top secret. But it's Kairos Power.
Right.
It's an engineering company that is developing a small modular reactor.
So, like, you deal with you buy hazarded materials sometimes, right? No?
No. So, at the headquarters here, it's a lab, R&D lab.
Oh, okay.
So, it's tests. It's mostly just raw material to build fancy test stands and yeah.
But like it's a nuclear company, right? Like nuclear energy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the end goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. So I guess I don't know that much about Kairos Power
Yeah, so we're planning on building a test reactor in Tennessee. It's called Hermes. That's known about, I think. Yeah.
Well, you can edit this too and take out anything you
or I can just ask Ashley and we can pretend that next time. I know what I can say and can't say.
Yeah.
It's not that super secret what I do. It's a lot of sciencey stuff. It's a lot of material science. A lot of scaled testing of, I don't want to say simple physics and thermodynamics, but it's
simple for you guys.
For them,
yeah,
not me.
Yeah,
no. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, and like you get to buy all their shit, which is kind of fun.
Not all their shit.
Well,
the boring shit goes to someone else to buy. I get to buy stuff that's complex and requires conversations with suppliers.
Yeah. Your job just seems very interesting. I know it probably doesn't to you, but to me it does.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really useful.
It impresses us.
I mean, it's. I just learned fun tidbits through it, but I have to trudge through some tedious stuff. It's fun though.
Yeah, it's not. I think if you can enjoy what you do, it makes everything else better.
I just learned that for a little while, the Macedonians had bullet arrows that they used to shoot. It was like a slingshot, but it was an arrow. And they basically used it like a slingshot version of a crossbow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It didn't last very long. And no one quite knows what exactly it looked like or was used. But there's a bunch of nerds that have gone out into fields and tried to figure out how to do it.
I was listening today to Joe Rogan, and he had Graham Hancock and Clint's, I'm not going to remember that other guy's name.
Fucking Atlantis.
Yes. They were talking
about Atlantis?
Well, they were because they were talking about Graham Hancock. And I actually was like, I should have asked Matt to listen to this before we sat down.
No, you don't want my opinion of that.
Because
it's very critical.
Well, because they were talking about Graham Hancock is the guy on Netflix that had the Ancient Apocalypse. Mm-hmm. And he's like a big fan of the driest impact theory. Mm-hmm. And I actually do want to know your thoughts on this because I know you've probably read a lot about it.
I mean...
compared to me, you've read a lot about it. Let's clarify.
I don't know. What's the theory?
Well, Graham Hancock's series, like archaeologists came out and like have just been trashing him for that show, which I have not watched yet. It's on my list.
I've heard it's people were saying that it should be treated as a fictional mockumentary or something.
Right. And so Graham Hancock's thing is like, why, like if you archaeologists kind of as a whole, if you guys have only digged like a really small percentage, why do you keep thinking like nothing could be possible before what you know? Like if like the Sahara, they've done like, I don't know, 5% of that. And so he's like, but you're telling me the whole Sahara has nothing else to offer you because you dug up 5% of it. And he's like, Graham Hancock's kind of thing is, how are you just dismissing when you don't really know? Or that's the point that I kind of took from it. And the other guy is saying, because we've covered more than that. And he's like, well, how much more? And the other guy's like, quite a bit more, but couldn't give any numbers. And he just was saying like, well, we've never seen anything like this one thing that you have. And Graham Hancock's like, okay, but if you haven't seen it, maybe could it exist?
So here's my problem with that is I didn't study, logic or sophistry or any of that stuff.
Okay.
But that's a pretty bullshit answer to say that just because it doesn't exist doesn't mean it couldn't exist.
Right.
Like that's essentially and that's called fiction.
Right. Well, and Graham Hancock is saying, like, this is the stuff I found. We need to do more because maybe all of this stuff really is older than we thought. Maybe there is all more of this, which he's saying, like, there's a possibility. He's like, and I think archaeologists should do more investigation. And the archaeologists are like, we already know all we know. So like, you're being stupid.
I've listened to one interview of Graham Hancock interviewing this guy who, the guy was not. I don't know if he was trying to push an agenda but he was not good at asking him questions, and that's where like the sophistry comes in, and the way it's presented. And they were talking about, Gilbecki Teple.
Yeah, they were talking about that today too.
And the question was, okay, well, if these were built by ancient advanced civilization, why is there no physical evidence for any tools, or the only tools they found were tools known from that era? Why? And his response was, maybe they realized that when they did it with their tools, their way, it didn't work out for them. So they were going to start fresh, and they were just going to use. That's a story, and you're just taking a lot of bits and pieces and some. I did look into this a little bit. The guy that 19th century guy that wrote a lot of bogus stuff that is, I believe, one of his sources.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but it was just interesting to listen to them. And I haven't read about it. I mean, I've read different like little blurbs and like mostly like, Facebook or Instagram shit, but like nothing in depth. Yeah, it's on a list of things I want to learn about.
It's like it's just sensationalism. I mean, so but it's presented in a way that if you don't think that there's something crazy extraordinary going on, then you're not open-minded,
right? Or
that you're conservative. And so people are like, no, I want to be liberal, so I'm gonna listen to what this story. And I mean, it's like me reading the story of ancient Rome. Like it's a story. I mean, it gives me fun facts that, other much more intelligent people luckily have done the research on, and they give me nice little footnotes, endnotes that I can, when something is said, it can be qualified as, well, this turned out to not be true. But it's not, there's what good, okay, if all that's true, so then what?
Right. Well, yeah, it doesn't change anything.
Give us something to strive for? Are we to look for? To try to understand more?
Yeah, I think it's people are trying to learn more about the past to understand maybe how we got here, where we're going, or what could happen to us. Like, but the thing, and you just said something too, is like, you said like it's an advanced civilization. Like they have too many descriptors in it. Like, is the baseline that you're trying to figure out is, were there humans before we thought there were humans? Like, instead of being like, oh, they must have been an advanced civilization, like, why are you putting that on it? Like, are you just trying to figure out if people existed and something happened and then like there weren't, or there must have been like a smaller population of humans, and then like, you know what I mean? Like we redid the Stone Age because we got blasted to smithereens. Like, if you're trying to figure out that, I get that. Like, and I am interested in that. Like, could that have happened? Did we already have like 90% of the population was wiped out, and like we're like the continuation?
Yeah, and I mean, there are flood stories across cultures that it all takes place significantly, before their time.
Right.
So, but who knows what that looked. I mean, I think people have surmised what that looked like, but I mean, whether or not that wiped out everyone or did not wipe out everyone and a few survived, I think it's pre-flood. They're like pre-flood civilizations, essentially, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, some of this is like even
like Atlantis,
right?
Which it came from Plato, a dialogue of Plato,
right? Well, they were saying like Atlantis is somehow related to being racist and white supremacist, and like it was trying to take things away. And there was some of it that I have to go and research because
I heard they were sexist too. They didn't like women.
Oh, well, yeah. Shocking. You know what I mean? But I was like, what? I'm like, if it's Atlantis, like, wouldn't it be not white people? Like, isn't that kind of your first, like, that's not, like, but I also was never, like, whether Atlantis, and maybe this is a point of privilege, like, how is, like, it's not like being like, oh, well, in Jerusalem, it was all white people back in the 4th century. Like, see, no, like, we were.
And then later on, it's referred to a few times in historical sources. I think Diodorus mentions it, but it also lost a great battle to some random tribe in Africa.
Right.
And it's like, well, so if Atlantis was even a city or something, they weren't that good at fighting, right? Because they lost to these motherfuckers. So then what? Then that's not worth praising them. And I think, I mean, come on, if anybody's read enough Plato, you realize that. I mean, he's literally putting stories in characters' mouths.
Right.
So he's trying to not prove a point, he's trying to show a point. So if you take him literally at face value, I mean, his grandfather heard it from someone who heard it from someone. I mean, it's just the beginning of it, the way he says it sounds like this is going to be a tall tale.
Right.
Let's see if we can learn any moral lessons from it. And yeah, I don't know. And then it kind of blew up. I mean, it's so strange. It's only this one little small part of the Timaeus, I think it is. And yeah, I mean, what people think of as Atlantis now is from that is amazing.
Right.
The mythology behind it. Yet it's a fairy tale to me.
Right.
I mean, and
then to like attach, and then to attach like white supremacy to it. If it was, like I said, I haven't done enough research, but just like the story of Atlantis to be like, oh, that's from the Nazis. Like what? Like that doesn't make sense to me. And maybe
they probably watched a History Channel documentary about the Nazis' fascination with the occult, and someone probably said something about them looking for Atlantis. And then they're like, oh yeah, they're looking for it.
Okay. Yeah, but like that doesn't immediately make me think like, oh, Atlantis must have been white people. Like that, I guess.
No,
and
apparently they weren't even, I mean, were they even human?
Right. Well, then someone was like, you're trying to take away someone's culture and give it credit to aliens. And I'm like, wait, so you're mad that they're stealing a culture you don't even know existed.
Well, there is no culture.
Well, the Atlantean culture, you know what I mean?
There's no Atlantean culture.
Well, we don't even know if Atlantis existed.
Exactly. So
right, that's what I mean.
There's no culture.
But they're saying like you're giving away like this people's culture and traditions, and you're just chalking it up to it could be aliens. And I'm like, you're mad about hypotheticals on top of hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Like, is that people just trying to be offended, or am I like missing a whole other swath of something?
No, again, I think the 19th century, I think a lot of people were getting back into the classics, reading the Greek classics.
Right.
And someone found this story and ran with it. It's like, all right, he already came up with the idea. I'm just going to run with it.
Oh my God. It's like in the 90s.
There's a whole video game based on it.
It's like in the 90s when
part of a video game.
When was it the Beach Boys that sang Kokomo, and then everybody wanted to go to Kokomo, and Kokomo's not a real place?
That makes sense.
I remember reading a story in the 90s about people being upset with their travel agents because they would not book them a trip to Kokomo. And people were like, yeah, because it doesn't exist. And they're like, it's in a song. Or like now Wakanda, people want to go to Wakanda. And it's like, that's just in the Marvel universe.
Oh, that's sad.
Right? Like,
oh, that's sad.
Like, if Wakanda existed, that would be amazing. And our world would be a very different place. But I've heard people saying, like, I want to go there. And, like, you
know what? I actually did look into that at some point. I think there is some... what is what?
It's supposed to be somewhere in Africa,
But it's
off the coast.
But isn't it sort of like Pangea, like pre-continental separation?
I don't think so, because it's like they go in, there's like a force field that blocks anyone. It's kind of like almost the same premise as where Wonder Woman was originally from. Like where it existed, but you couldn't actually see it because...
What? She was Amazon, right?
Yes.
From where? What was their Amazon?
Like Amazonian, I think. Like,
which kind, though?
I think... Oh, I don't know these things.
See, that's actually...
She had an island off of somewhere that was bombed during the World War II, according to the movie.
Oh, shit.
Because that's
World War II? Oh, so they're saying Amazon still exists. Oh, I see.
Yeah, because she, I think it's the first one, she comes to America.
I forget we're talking about.
The actual movie.
Fucking fictitious fantasy land.
Yeah, see, I know things from movies. You know things from books.
Did you know that the Amazon River, that's where it got its name from? The story of the Amazons, the ancient stories of the Amazons. So apparently this one ship on this expedition, can't tell you the year, they got lost. They basically ended up sailing the entire Amazon River out to the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay.
Most of them died, but they ended up calling it the Amazon River because at some point the story goes, I think it was a cook or a doctor. There's someone's account said that there were large female warriors shooting arrows at them.
Oh, wow.
And so they're like, oh, those are Amazons. And so, these are Spanish, like pre-conquistador probably. And so that's why it got its name.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure.
I like that story. Named after a powerful woman.
When you look at the Amazon, it's kind of amazing that these people actually survived and made it. Because down the entire river, that's fucking long.
How?
Oh, that's what you need in here. You need a map.
I was just thinking the same thing. Well, I keep thinking about moving a TV here and hooking it up so my computer, so like we could do like little, when we have to look something up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, the studio's still coming together.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. You like my walls that are made possible by you?
Oh, this was your PVC. Oh, yeah.
This part's on the wall, but behind you and behind me.
Oh, right on.
That's the PVC pipes that you
like
gave me
it.
a fun little tool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're light too, so you can move them around.
Yeah, well, eventually, because, when I get popular, hair flip, and take it on tour, I want to be able to bring the whole vibe with me.
How's this on soundproofing?
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's not soundproof at all.
Okay.
It's just a living, it's a plastic green wall.
So if I'm bringing an instrument, I should bring some acoustic panels?
Yeah, I figure eventually I'll put some soundproofing behind them. Like, add some of that. Luckily, my neighbors are really quiet.
Put me a little pod that is soundproof.
Well, that's kind of what I'm building.
I don't want to put no.
Well, yeah, because I figure I can... What we're talking about, y'all, is my pod walls. I used some PVC piping and some fabric and string, really, and sewed it all together, made little walls for my apartment that are collapsible and light to ship. My purple haze weed wall.
And she got to learn how to use a PVC pipe cutter.
I did, which was amazing that you gave it to me. And they're so quiet. I did this at like 11:30 at night, and I live in an apartment.
It is quiet.
Yeah. And luckily my neighbors are all pretty quiet. The only time I can't record is when the landscapers are here.
Do you hear people upstairs?
Oh, yeah. For the longest time, and someone told me it's because of my ADHD, I always either have like my TV on or music on. Like my apartment's almost never quiet. Mm-hmm. I sleep with a sound machine. So like when I'm getting ready for bed, I turn that on. So there's like the sound of rain always in my house. And someone told me that's because of ADHD. But because of that, my apartment's never really quiet. So I never noticed how thin my walls were.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've been trying to learn to meditate in quiet now and stuff. And I've heard like my neighbor upstairs sneeze and I'm like, oh.
Can I learn to play my accordion here?
Sure.
No, it's not. It's very loud. I forgot that. That's another instrument. I bought an accordion from a guy off the street.
Oh my God. How long have you had the accordion?
2 months, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But it's a 120 bass, so it's got a shit ton of buttons, and I can't really play the piano.
Oh.
The keyboard part.
Okay.
And it's super loud.
Is it?
So I need to just go to the park and annoy everyone, I'm not just gonna.
It's an
I'm
accordion.
just not gonna be good at it.
Right. And it's an accordion, even when you are good at it. Is it enjoyable?
Hell yeah, it will be.
I'm just kidding.
Just for a little accompaniment.
Yes. Well, there's a dude that goes to the beach and drums a lot. Like, because that
can be kind of annoying though.
If I can get into my afternoon walk,
just drums.
It's kind of some kind of bongo or something. I don't know, but it's enjoyable, and I can hear it for like at least probably a good quarter of a mile.
Can you keep time?
Yeah, it's good drumming too. That's why it's enjoyable.
And where is this?
He sits at Crown Cove. He sits right at the end of like where that little whoop-de-whoop is. He sits there at the bench, so he's playing kind of out towards the water. Mm-hmm. So when I'm coming down this way from to Crab Cove, I can hear it for I can probably hear it for a half a mile round trip. Like,
oh wow,
it's like a good quarter of a mile. I'm away probably a good quarter of a mile when I can start to hear it. And I usually have one earphone in.
Okay,
let me grab you another.
Sure. I just realized if you change the T in reality to a D, it would still say reality, but it would also say real idea.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Uh-oh, we might have to change the name. Maybe that'll be our offshoot podcast.
Or get a T that looks kind of like a D, or a D that could also pass like as a T.
Mm-hmm. Do a teacup there, like a half a teacup.
Sideways teacup would be a D. Ooh.
You could have fun with that.
Be a teacup, though.
Do a teapot, too. Just would have a dingling. A D with a dingling.
Dingling? That's what you call it?
No, I don't know.
A dingling.
That's what Stevie calls Donna. Oh, no, that's ding dong.
Dingling, that's that Chuck Berry song. Oh, my dingling.
Yeah.
It's not one that gets covered very often.
I think that should be your next open mic song.
Hell no. It's a
Come on.
song.
You could update it.
No, it's not worth updating. Yeah. Not one of my favorites.
Has music always been your passion? Or did that develop later? Because I know you have a lot of different hobbies and talents, but...
I don't know if I'd call it a I think it's probably as close to a passion as I have. I've always... No, I mean, I didn't really get into music until I was 14. Well, I knew music because the drive to church was fucking like 45 minutes, 45 minutes. And so, I listened to a lot of Jesus radio, like Christian pop rock bullshit. But there was WBBQ that had the oldies. So I think some of those stuck with me. But I didn't really, get into it. Then my brother had some Marilyn Manson and some Tool CDs. I listened to those and I was like, Then my mom confiscated them because, it's obviously from the devil. And so, but one thing that he did have was a Black Sabbath tape.
Okay.
And on one side, for some reason, I don't know if one side had Paranoid and one side had Heaven and Hell. Which I don't know if you can put a whole album on one side of a tape.
I think no.
So maybe it was two tapes. Anyways, I picked Paranoid and listened to it, and I was like, this is really fucking cool. And that's how I found Led Zeppelin, and then I think the first album LP I ever bought was Jethro Tull, Aqualung.
Nice.
And then I just listened to music. I mean, I played bass guitar when I was 14 or 15. I worked at the JCC day camp as a counselor, which I was with the 7 and 8-year-olds. But the oldest group of kids there was 12, and I think I was 14 my first year. I went at 15. And then they paid you fucking peanuts, but it was enough to get an Ibanez bass guitar. And I don't know if Ultimate Guitar was around then. They had tabs online. And so I just, learned bass tabs from the songs I liked on the radio. And then I took lessons from the guy at church. Because my dad played guitar in sort of the praise band, the more casual service praise band at church.
Wait, you didn't grow up Catholic, though. You grew up Baptist, right?
Southern Baptist.
Yeah. And Southern Baptist in Georgia.
And their music, looking back on it, it's kind of shit. I mean, I don't know if just people couldn't sing, but the shit we sang didn't really have any soul to it, no gusto. Very bland and boring.
Was it a big church?
I mean, it was very small when it started, and like my parents started going there when I was a baby.
Oh.
And it got not mega church size, but I couldn't tell you how many people it had.
Right.
It was decently big. But then I took formal lessons for the bass, and I go through a couple, and it's very very mundane, boring. Starting from the basics of here's how you hold it, here's this is E, this is A. I'm like, yeah, I know this. And so I 3 lessons in, I was like, I learned a song. And he's like, oh, right on. And so I played it for him. And it might have been at the end of the lesson, actually. It was Black Sabbath. It was, what song was it? I think it was the Paranoid intro. And he was like, oh, and he didn't really comment on it. But then apparently I got fired as a student. Or he retired, apparently, is what he told my mom.
Oh. Couldn't teach the devil child?
I guess not. I don't know. I was just trying to show him that we can advance this a little bit.
Yeah.
And approach this from a, I don't know, better way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned, as the years went by, I learned, a few cowboy chords on guitar. Nothing serious. And yeah, then I just really loved listening to music from the time of 15 until today. And I just have this weird, not knowledge, but I can there's a huge music list library in my head that's taking up a lot of room, I think, overall.
Because you like what I would consider non-traditional music. Like you've gotten into
oh yeah,
like you go down these rabbit holes of genres, and it's
Mongolian folk. It's really good.
Yeah.
The
throat singing you're a big fan of.
Throat singing is really cool. And actually, Mark has a bass harmonica, which is just a giant fucking harmonica that looks like a clown prop, but it's actually a bass harmonica.
Oh, wow.
And he was playing it, and then I pulled one of my jaw harps out and started playing it, and it sounds fucking awesome. The thing is, the jaw harp, I don't think it's really in a key. And it's weird. So...
Well, it's a jar harp.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a lot of...
I still haven't seen it.
It's a lot of breathing. It's very breathy.
Yeah.
Because that's how you kind of give it rhythm, is like... Yeah.
So you got to practice your holotropic breathing for that?
I don't know. I'm pretty good at it. I can last longer than Mark on the harmonica. I have this weird lung ability.
Oh.
like when we cover one song, there's the very verse at the end. I hold the note, and I can hold it, and I keep holding it, and I keep holding it. And like if Tim's singing with me, he stops eventually, and then I hold it for a little bit longer, and then I end.
Have you ever done like breath work, or is it just something that no?
I mean, I figure if breathing's involuntary, doing it well shouldn't be that difficult.
You would think.
Right?
I'm a breath holder, so I don't breathe well.
Well,
I'll hold my breath
and
not.
since I was about 6, and I've been smoking since I was 16.
Oh.
So.
That's smart.
No, it's not. It's fucking stupid.
Oh, that's kind of... I don't know if you remember me.
I will be quitting soon, though.
We would like to keep you around for a while. And lung cancer sucks.
Yeah. I already have the patches.
Good.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to finish the pack of cigarettes that I just bought because I forgot I was going to quit. And then I'm going to quit.
You should try getting hypnotized too.
I can't. I'm not. I don't think I'm susceptible. No. So here's the thing. I think me questioning whether or not I'm susceptible to hypnotism means that I'm already not susceptible to hypnotism.
Now I'm interested.
Because it's not that I don't. I guess a part of it is I don't want to be. I don't trust people, especially that have weird skills like that. It's like if your buddy does it to you, sure. But you got to get this creepy, like, washed-up magician to hypnotize me, then what?
No, you don't go to a creepy, washed-up magician.
Where do you get a hypnotizer from?
They have them. Some of therapists...
Does Feathered Owl have one?
I don't know if they do. I'll have to ask Marie. That'd be a good addition.
I mean, I can grow a pencil mustache.
Now you're going into the creepy...
And a top... I mean, I don't have a cape, but...
You're going to the creepy magician part.
I can make a spiral spinny board.
Some therapists practice hypnotism.
Yeah.
So that's who you go to, because they're professional. Now I'm going to have to find a hypnotist to interview.
Do you think that they would know if someone was fucking with them and was pretending to be under...
Or else they'd be shitty at their job.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be... Oh, yeah.
I've seen like comedy shows where they hypnotize like the crowd, you know what I mean? And I've seen like where they'll hypnotize the people on stage. And I've seen some people do crazy things, but I also don't think I could get hypnotized because there's a part of me that's just like, this is complete bullshit, you're bullshit. But I know people that have gone to a hypnotist to stop smoking and it has worked for them.
I'd say if you want to hypnotize me, if I was on mushrooms, I might be a little more susceptible to being hypnotized.
Okay.
That also might be dangerous for the hypnotizer because it might turn on them.
Yeah.
Because that shit opens up
portals that we still don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, portals. I think it just...
Pathways. Sorry, I should have said pathways.
Processes.
Yeah.
But, like a mechanical, electrical network, obviously, you can overdo it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I just did a heroic dose.
Like you're not, like your body evolved to not have that many processes going on in your brain at once. This is my opinion. So when you take LSD and mushrooms, you're processing shit on a much faster level. And I think a lot of it's subconscious. But I think that's why people think that they're God, because they're just processing things at 10x the normal. And which, for some is still less than others.
That's very true. And for some, it's unfathomable.
I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it. I respect psychedelics.
Yeah, I microdose a lot, and I tell people that I share mushrooms with people all the time.
I've never consistently done it. I've taken small doses, but I did a lot of mushrooms in high school.
Did you?
Which probably fucked up my brain development. Because I realized that I did almost all my drugs, the ones I didn't keep doing, from 16 to 18.
Wow, it's a short period, and it's a really like developmentally important period.
I know. I did everything.
Yeah. See, I didn't do drugs back then because I was so scared of them, right? Like I had an uncle who overdosed when I was young. Like he got into serious drugs, and I was there for it and saw a lot of it firsthand. I grew up with, I mean, I'm Irish Catholic from Boston. Like I have 19 uncles. I have 10 uncles, and I would say 7 of them have been in the program or in different versions of it. Like I honestly didn't realize AA wasn't part of Catholicism until I was like,
shit.
Like,
That's way different than. So, Southern Baptists don't drink. They make a point of it. There's a joke that in the South that's like, why do liquor stores have drive-throughs? And it's because the Baptists, they don't want anybody to know that they're drinking. So drinking was not a thing, but it was less religion at our house. I think it was because one of my mom's grandparents was an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. And so her father made sure to raise his family in a non-alcoholic household. Yeah. And I think something similar happened on my father's line. So my father didn't grow up in a house that had alcohol. Therefore,
you didn't grow up in a house.
So, but it only took 15 years for me to find. I never really had a problem with alcohol, but yeah, I enjoyed it all. Yeah. Mushrooms. I mean, that was the funnest thing I used to do. Was fresh mushrooms, and then I did the dumb shit, and intravenous shit, and then I graduated high school.
I never graduated to intravenous stuff, and I'm really grateful for that. But I think also because I had that one uncle that had. All right, so and when I say I have 10 uncles, those are my blood uncles. Mm-hmm. I have probably 20 uncles because then I have 9 aunts. So yeah, I have 9 aunts, blood related.
That's a lot of fucking people.
So then all of that 19 all has significant others.
Yeah.
So basically my aunt and uncles are almost 40 people. So when you have that many people you grew up with, and you have both my grandfathers were alcoholics and unhealthy people, and they raised unhealthy people.
It's not a statistically insignificant quantity of people in your immediate family. Yeah.
Yeah. People are you get people so well, and I'm I didn't have a choice. I have almost 80 first cousins. And until I was in my 20s, I saw all of them once or twice a week. It wasn't like we saw each other on holidays. We did. But we also had Sunday dinners. We had Wednesday at Nana's house. Your parents are both working, so they just drop you off at one of the grandmother's house and let you run feral.
So this leads me to a fascinating question. Having experienced a wide range of people, mm-hmm. do you think that there is a limited number of types of people? Do you think that you could somehow take personality type, certain features of a human, and say that there's, say, 12? The psychologists, all they try to put things into the 5 behavioral types. Yeah. Do you think that humans could be even if you give them 12? See, I think depending on the right criteria, it might be possible.
I don't, only because people are always also shifting and changing, right?
Yeah.
So I we've had, when you have that many people, you have say you have one tragic event, right? And my family's been marked by a bunch of them. So there's some really poignant facts that I can look at, right? The first time one of the siblings died. My dad grew up with 12 siblings. So the first time one of them died, I can remember how it happened, and then watching all of their reactions and the way it changed their lives. You know what I mean? So there was people that I think I could have, granted I was a kid, but now thinking about it and looking back at it, the same people that grew up in the same house with the same conditions all reacted in such vastly different ways. in the positive and negative. So like you can't categorize someone because something happens and it shifts fundamentally who they are. But not even all of them. Sometimes it shifts just a small part. So the fact that we're always evolving and or hopefully evolving, but we're always shifting and changing and our perspectives always being slightly altered, that it causes different parts of your life and different parts of your personality to change and shift. So I don't think you can categorize people for more than maybe 6 months at a time. But if like something tragic happens or something really like, you know, they positive, like they win the lottery, like, but it doesn't even have, like they get a job that gets a huge raise. Like those things shift a person so much in ways that we don't understand, but it also shifts like how they interact with the world in such a different way that I don't think you can categorize people. Like, I mean, broadly, I think you can, but to get down to being like these 12 types of people, I don't think that works. Because I'm very, when I'm behind the bar, I'm a very different person than when I'm a customer, right? Like there's different parts of my personality that serve me in that moment. But who I am fundamentally doesn't actually change.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you would measure that.
Well, and also it's more of an interactional thing. So when people interact with other people, they're oftentimes not presenting their true self at that time.
Right. Everyone's masked at different times for different things.
So let's say this. There are 12 masks. Okay, there we go. I'm going to try and define the 12 masks of humanity.
I like it. I'm in. I want to hear what you come up with.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. My list is long. I got books to write, albums to make.
I know. That's one of the things I really enjoy about you, because you have like these hobbies, but then you have these things that it's more than a hobby. Like,
no, it's just an idea.
Yeah, but you are the type of person that you will eventually execute it all.
Yeah, I'm a procrastinator though. But I did give myself a date for the album, which is 5/25/25.
Oh, and you just said it out loud, and now we have it on recording.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've said it. Yeah, it's got to. Yeah.
I like it. 5/25/25.
5/25/25. Yep. It's called Whiskey Thief.
I should just be getting home from another wild, amazing European tour.
Right on. The bath tour?
Yes. I'm excited.
Well, I when anything bath related comes up in my readings,
send them
I'll
over.
let you know. I started dabbling into Far East Asia.
I think I'm going to go to Japan in October to go on a bathing. Like, I have to do a lot of research on that. And a lot of it actually will not be my research. It's going to be, I have 2 different people that I'm getting connected to help plan it, because I can't even imagine how to start. And then most of the onsets over there, if you have tattoos, you can't get into them. So I'm going to have to...
Do you have tattoos?
I do. And I'm going to have to like do a couple of maybe like, you have tattoos, so you're coming to this one. You don't have tattoos, so you have the option of going to this one. And please come tell us how it was.
Where does that come from?
In Japan, it's because of the Yakuza.
Ah, the Yakuza. I was going to ask. That seems... So some American with a goldfish tattooed on her shoulder...
Cannot go
they
into...
suspect could be a Yakuza spy.
Well, it's... yeah, they just... When I guess at the... it's not...
So tattoos aren't a thing like they are here. It's only for criminals.
I think traditionally it had been only for criminals. And I think I've heard Russia is the same, except Russia hasn't...
You have to have tattoos to go there.
Well, probably, yeah. No. They haven't implemented the same restriction, but I think in Russia... Because in Russia, there's a saying that I've learned... or at least from the Soviet Union, there is no generals in the bathhouse. There's no generals in the banya. Because like the banya used to be the only place that...
The bathroom?
The banya is what they call a Russian bathhouse.
Oh, okay.
They call it a banya.
What's the moral there? No generals in a bathhouse?
No generals in a bathhouse. It means the bathhouse in Russia used to be or in the former Soviet Union, was the only place you didn't have to worry about someone... Like if you had a political conversation, you didn't have to worry about anyone wired or anyone.
I don't buy that for 1 minute.
I don't either, but that's their...
They want you to think.
Well, you know, I'm also talking to Russians that could be lying to me about a number of things.
Oh no, I'm just so these are people that
yeah, no, from they're Russian. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying I've learned it from Russians that I know. Is they say back in the day at the U.S., like when they lived there, it was the former Soviet Union. And they say, like, in the banya, there is no generals. And it's kind of the same way they live now. Is like when you're in the banya, it's a community. It's more, especially the one I work with, like, it's for fun. It's for building community. It's for, like, enjoyment. And he was, like, today we were talking about my trip to Istanbul and how that will be so different than the places I've been. And he was explaining to me, Dr. Brodsky, who's the gentleman I'm speaking about, he was telling me about how back when he was in Russia and how he wished he could like show it to me and I could experience it. But he was saying that the banyas there are very different because it's separated male and female, and like how you would go there for enjoyment and, relief and fun. It's more than just bathing. And some of those banyas in Russia have the best food out of anywhere in Russia.
Well, that's 0 for 2. Not a big fan of baths, and also not a big fan of food. It's quite an inconvenience to stay alive. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just learning this about you. I was going to say I haven't seen you eat, but I've made you food.
No, so. I eat.
But
I have to
you find it as an inconvenience?
Yes. It's gotten to the point where there are too many options. It's just, you know what? And I have to stop what I'm doing. I could have had 3 albums by now if I didn't have to eat.
Well, you could just eat the same thing all day, every day.
I tried. Then it gets to the point where you physically can't eat it anymore. I tried one of those a while ago. One of the it's a meal. It's like a meal replacement. One of those trendy
like a shake thing.
Yeah, Soylent.
All I can think about is Slim Fast.
Soylent. It's called Soylent.
It sounds like someone who just shit their pants.
I drank Slim Fast in high school.
I did too, but like.
No, but Soylent Green, the movie about.
I don't.
Yeah, that's where they grind up people and turn it into the food. Yeah, it's an old. Yeah, check it out. Put it on your movie list. Soylent Green.
No, I've never heard of that movie.
It's an old.
Oh, movie. I never did horror movies.
Yeah.
Ever. I saw Jaws as no, actually, I saw the. This is going to date me, but I'm proud of how old I am. I saw the commercial for Chucky.
Okay.
And got rid of all the dolls I owned. Just the commercial.
Did you slip into a Boston accent almost?
I probably did.
you caught yourself really well. You're like, oh.
Oh yeah, sometimes it slides out. And
No, that was oh.
Yeah, sometimes it slides out. I try to tuck it back in.
So
I saw a Chucky commercial and I got rid of
dolls.
I did. I used to have like those masks.
You had a lot of dolls?
I did. And I was the first girl on my mom's side for 10 years. I was the only granddaughter or niece. And so they super wanted me to be super girly.
I had
So I had porcelain dolls.
Oh.
I had like the masks on my walls, like those ornate masks back from the 80s. Mm-hmm. And then I had just like a shit ton of stuffed animals. And I took them all out of my room. One of my uncles dressed his kid as Chucky, like, I don't know, for Halloween, 6 months or a year later. And I was like, yeah, I'm never babysitting that kid again.
I always, even as a kid, I always wondered, to me, there was one big plot hole. It's a fucking plastic.
Chucky,
it's a fucking plastic doll.
Yeah, I didn't even make it to thinking about that part.
I mean, I don't care how fast it is.
But it came to life. I was just like, nah.
Yeah, but to be scared that it's going to murder me.
Well, you weren't a girl in the 80s. Everything was murdering us. I mean, you were a boy. Yeah. Like, that's when the Have You Seen Me milk carton started. Like, they used to... You are younger than me. I forget that sometimes. But, like, I remember when at 10 o'clock, legit, the news would say, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? That was an actual warning that they had to put on TVs to remind parents to check on where their kids were. Like, nobody gave a shit about us. And, like, That's when like,
I mean, I
the 70s is
I
when
had to
like,
be, I had to, like, my bedtime was 8 o'clock. So I remember as a kid having to go to bed when the sun was still up,
oh yeah, I do too.
when the time changed.
Yeah.
And there's kids, I lived on the corner, so there was kids playing around. And I was like, Mom, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, what?
My mom was like strict in a way, but not in a are you safe way. I mean, a little bit when I got older, but like as a kid, like I was 9 when I started babysitting. I was like 9.5 when I started babysitting.
Oh, so
by 10, I had like
the girls had their first babysitting job at the age of 13.
Yeah.
So they just turned 14 and they did their first babysitting job with the neighbor's kids like 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's cute. And 13 is probably like a good age. When I was 10, my cousin Laura was 4 months old. And I was babysitting her.
Oh, damn.
And there's a... So I
Did you ever drop a kid?
No.
Would you admit to it if you did?
Yes. Oh, that's not... Well, she wasn't technically a kid.
I thought you were going to say it wasn't technically a drop, but...
And I wasn't technically babysitting, but Erin Ford.
How old was... okay.
Oh, fuck. Kelly and I have been friends since we were in kindergarten.
So you were the same age?
No, it's her little sister.
Oh, okay. So like a couple years age difference?
Yeah.
And you dropped her?
Erin's, I think, 4 years younger than we are.
Now? Okay.
I mean, sorry, Erin.
Do you blame? No. Oh, no. That's Erin. I'm sorry.
No, she's very smart.
You now have someone to blame for all your shortcomings.
We were trying to help her flip over a railing. My accent almost came out again. I was like doing somersaults on the hand railing, and she wanted to do it, and I was trying to help her, and I dropped her, and like she had a huge egg on her head,
and lost a few brain cells.
We've been friends forever. So her sister Kelly and I went to kindergarten together.
Kindergarten?
Yeah, I have
Did you say kindergarten?
Yeah,
that's an interesting pronunciation.
How would you pronounce it?
Kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Oh, that sounds a little better.
Kindergarten?
Kindy. You said
kindergarten?
Kindercare?
Kindercare, yeah. We were young.
Sorry.
No. And we lived together in college. We've been friends.
Oh, damn.
Like, we've been close friends ever. Like, yeah, I have a bunch of girls that I've known since kindergarten and that we still keep in touch.
I don't keep in touch with most people. What some people think is being a dick. I just can't be bothered. I mean, I've had good friends.
Well, the best part about them is if I don't reach out for 6 months, but I go home, I'm like, yo, I'm home and we'll go out for dinner and it won't be like any time passed. Yeah. But I don't have to like call them on the daily or weekly or.
But see, those people are ones I met from the age of 21 to 29.
Yeah.
There's only one kid that I know from kindergarten that I kind of saw on a semi-regular basis because he was a musician and he played a lot in downtown Augusta where I was bartending. And it was funny seeing people from high school come into Sky City. They didn't come in a lot, but they'd come in the same groups that they hung out with in high school. And, like some of them had married to their people. No, most of the
married laterally.
Yeah. And so I didn't really stay in touch. And I realized that it's my 20th high school anniversary, 24. And I'm like, where the fuck's my letter? Am I not cool enough? I'm just kidding.
They don't find you?
I don't know.
I
don't know how they'd find me.
My high school has sent me the first piece of mail every time I have moved. And I have never given them my address.
I don't think because the people that actually went to school that year have to do that. Like the student council president people, that shit's gone. That is no longer your responsibility. Who the fuck's going to do that these days?
I don't know. I think it was just the nuns I went to school with have stalked me my entire life.
Oh. God.
Like the first time I moved out of Boston.
God knows where your new address is.
Oh, those bitches were not God.
No, God told them.
No, Satan did.
Yeah, fair enough.
The first time I moved out of Boston, I moved to Arizona, and I hadn't even forwarded my mail, like with a post office. And I got a fundraising letter from my high school.
I have a tangential story
about
getting mail that I didn't think I'd get. So my California license expired, and I had to get a new one, but I needed to change the address.
Okay.
However, my address is 1120 and a half.
It is.
And to do it online, that
the
format
address
does not accept
a half address.
It doesn't accept a decimal point or a backslash or I think I might have even tried writing out the words. I don't know. It didn't work.
Right.
So I would have had to get a physical copy and take it in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck that. I'm just going to keep the address the same. So I filled it out, texted my old roommate and said, hey, what's up? A couple of days you might get something from the DMV for me. Can you let me know? Because it's my new address or my new license. And I explained briefly that, why I got it sent there. And I don't, usually it comes in 3 or 4 days. I heard nothing. And I was about to text him and I went and got the mail and there they were. They used my billing address that I paid for it with.
Oh, I was going to say, was your mail still forwarded from when you moved? No.
It's a year ago.
Oh, wow.
But they used my billing address instead of the address on my actual driver's license. And they sent me 2.
Oh, that's amazing. But wait, did they put your billing address on the license?
No, it still
says the old address, but they mailed it to the right one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still... Yeah, I'm still...
All right, so here's my question. Why didn't you just not put in the half and ask your landlord to give it to you?
Because that's annoying as shit. Asking my landlord for my mail every day?
No. Just for your license.
Because I don't know where that information... I mean, that information goes from the DMV to somewhere. I think that's how the junk mail people get addresses.
Oh, probably.
DMV sells it to them.
Yeah, that's fucked up. DMV, don't do that.
I mean, I throw away 90% of the mail I get.
Oh, yeah. I sometimes don't check my mailbox for weeks because...
Nor do I. And one of my comments I'm going to leave when I leave this place is that you need a better mailbox than a small open top box on the side under a tree, because the junk mail keeps the lid up and it rains and all my mail gets soaking wet.
Yeah, because it rains so much here in California.
Oh, and it's also under a tree, so even when it's done raining...
You're just picking out leaves.
The rain just keeps falling off the tree because it's windy. Anyways, it's my rant for the postal service.
Don't rant too much. They'll come be postal on you.
Nah, I'm good.
And I can make that joke. My grandfather and 3 of my uncles were postmen.
Really? I was actually thinking
3.
the other day, it was early. I was getting to work relatively early and the mailman was stopping on Grand to do his rounds. And I was like, I wonder what it would be like to be a mailman in Alameda, because where I'm from, everything's spread out. You're in your car. You go stop, mailboxes in neighborhoods. But these you park and then you physically walk up to every house and that's, you meet people. That'd be kind of a cool job.
I thought you would be good at that job.
Just to do for not ever, just a couple weeks.
2 of my uncles are both named Michael, and they were both mailmen for most of my lives. And their stories, I love their stories.
Did they develop conclusions of people based on the mail they got?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I would totally do the same thing.
And some of them, like one of my uncles.
This motherfucker's broke.
Yes. Yep. And both of them worked in very different neighborhoods, which also lent them to a bunch more of understandings of places.
Interesting.
Yeah. One of my uncles used to be the mailman for the New Kids on the Block. or at least one of
For
them.
all of them?
No, just one of them. They all lived in different neighborhoods. But we knew that family like 6 different ways because he was from Jamaica Plain. So Joe McIntyre is from Jamaica Plain, which is part of Boston. Like they're all from Boston, but different. I call them neighborhoods, areas. It's like.
What is the right term? It's not.
I don't know.
Not parish. It's.
I think it's.
What do they call them? Burgs.
They're boroughs in New York,
borough.
but they're never referred to like that in Boston.
Neighbor.
I always have called them neighborhoods, like, but they're different sections. It's all Boston, but we all have different names. So Jamaica Plain was where my parents are from, and so my grandmother knew Joe McIntyre. Like Joe McIntyre.
Did you meet Joe McIntyre?
Yes. Not until after.
What?
Oh wow, that's a story I haven't thought about forever.
What letter celebrity would you rate him? Would you say he was a D-list?
When? Because in the 90s he was an A-list, but now I'd say
my sister had a doll of him.
Yeah, like, and I was not a New Kids fan. I mean, I wasn't not a fan, but I was more like.
Wait, none of them really gained massive success, did they?
Well, Donnie Wahlberg was still on. Blue Bloods? He was on that.
Yeah, as an actor though. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Mark Wahlberg kind of capitalized off of Donnie Wahlberg's fame and launched him.
See, I thought this was the reverse.
No, so Donnie was famous first, and then Mark.
But then I thought Mark became more famous.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
like Mark is an A-list.
Mark
still.
Yeah, and even in acting.
Yeah,
like he's.
I mean, he's an amazing actor.
I mean, I gotta say, what's that? What band is that?
I met him too.
Backstreet Boys.
New Kids on the Block.
I mean, they're more known than the Funky Bunch, like whatever.
Right.
CC.
Yeah, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
He was part of a group though, wasn't he?
Yeah, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. But Donnie Wahlberg was in the New Kids on the Block.
No, but I thought Marky Mark was also in I don't know.
He played with CNC Music Factory. I think it's
that might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Calvin Klein ads.
Oh, we're talking about the celebrities you've met.
Yeah. Oh, I've met a bunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Boston's not a huge city.
Well, that should be a follow-up episode.
Yeah, someday I'll tell you my Mark Wahlberg story.
No. We'll have to drink liquor, and then you can tell me who you've met, and then I'll just tell you my opinion of them. Based
if
on
you even know who they are.
No facts.
I worked at
Give me 5 minutes to Wikipedia them, and then I'll make a judgment of them if I don't know them.
Because most of them are probably pop people that you wouldn't know. No, right. I mean I've also met a lot of athletes.
Okay.
Because I worked at one of my first real cocktailing jobs was right across the street from Fenway Park.
Okay.
And then I moved down the street to the Back Bay, or like right by the Heinz Convention Center and the Prudential Center in Boston. And that bar I worked at for a lot of years. And the same owner had, I worked for his high-end restaurant and one of his dives, but he owned 2 dive bars around the corner from each other and a higher-end restaurant. And then for a short period, he owned a 3rd kind of medium bar down the street. So I worked for him forever, and he was like an old kind of mafia guy. And so I met everyone there because one of his bars was like you could get in with a note from your mom. Like I started going there when I was 18. Their doorman just didn't give a shit.
But you had to have a note from your mom.
Well, I mean, you just had to have an ID that slightly looked like you.
Oh, okay.
Like one night when I went up to go in, I had known the guys that worked there because part of the company, but I had known them for a while because I'd been going there like 3 nights a week because we were college, And I walked up one day and there was a different doorman at the door, and I hadn't even thought to look at the ID I used, and he asked me what street I lived on, and I was like, I move a lot. He was just like, yeah, this is not you,
He didn't let you in?
No, he didn't. He didn't let us in. So we walked down the street to another bar, had a couple cocktails, and then went back up. And like, as we walked back up, there's a huge line. And the doormen that we knew were there, and we're like, hey, what's up? And they're like, where you guys been? You're later than you normally are. Nice. And like, we went to walk in, and the kid was like, that girl doesn't even know her name. And the doorman was like, yeah, do you see her? Do you see her friends? Do you know why you're not on the door? And then I never saw that kid again because he probably got fired.
I had to let someone in. I made the decision. I let him in. with their prison card and their birth certificate. They just got out of prison, and they had a
prison card.
They had a picture ID that had their name, and then a birth certificate with a name that matched. And I was like, "Well, shit! You can come in and drink."
What year was that though that you let them in?
Fuck.
Would you do it today?
2000. Probably. I think that counts.
I think it would too.
I had to accept conceal and carry permits.
Oh,
because it's a photo ID and it has your birthday on it. That's
fucking scary.
And it's a state issued. So, and the funny thing was, the best part was when cops would come in off duty and they would come and we're checking IDs. Don't give a shit how old you are. Like, just it's a machine. Just come, show your ID. You give me money. You show him your ID. You give me money, and then he'll stamp you, and then you go in. And he just he came to show me his ID, and it was his badge, and I was like, "That's not an ID. Where's your ID?"
Right.
And he was 21, but I was like, "Thank you." Yes. And then I also wondered if the people that showed me their concealed carry permit, like, are you trying to tell me that you may have a gun on you?
Yes.
I was never worried about that.
When I first moved to Arizona, and I remember it was like had to be the first month I was there. I'm sitting at a bar that like had been kind of our place. We'd been there a bunch. Before we moved there, we went out to like visit and see, and we met the bartender, and it's just like, I love this lady. Mm-hmm. So we're sitting there, and I look over, and I can see this guy's bulge. And so I like casually get up and I walk over to the guy that has been at the door, and we'd met a bunch of times. And I'm like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm pretty sure that guy has a gun." And he looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, a lot of people do." And he kind of just looked at me, and he knew I was like new to Arizona. And I just looked at him.
Oh, Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah. You should have already had 2 or 3.
But I like, it was
they
like
didn't
the
give
first
you one
time.
at the border?
No.
Oh.
I did almost buy one at Walmart. When Kelly, who I was talking to earlier, when she came out to visit me the first time, like we talked in on the phone one night, and I was like, "Bitch, you can go to Walmart here and get beer and watermelon and tampons and underwear and a gun and like a pool floaty." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is insane." Mm-hmm. Like I'd never seen anything like that.
Historians are going to have a field day with this era of people.
Yeah. So when she came the first time she came to visit me, she's like, "We're going to Walmart and we're buying all of that."
Did you?
We bought most of it, but not all of it.
You didn't buy a gun?
No. I have only shot a gun once, and until I know something, I don't want it in my house.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a gun safety course at the end of the month or at the end of the summer. I have a bunch of guys that have offered to bring me out.
Of course you have. They all want to show off their guns.
Yeah. They all have significant others.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just they want to show off their guns.
Yeah. The real guns.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of the guys get so into it, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. But the first gun I ever fired was an AR-15 in someone's backyard in upstate New York.
I was given a shotgun when I was 12.
Were you?
A 20 gauge. And
well, you lived in the South.
Dove hunting trip.
Yeah.
Like, just make sure it's pointed up. And I did. I don't think I shot any doves.
No.
But I was 12 years old, and they trusted me. I had to take a gun safety course, though, before that.
Yeah. Because you were rural South, right?
No, Augusta's pretty...
Oh, yeah, it is.
Pretty, I don't want to take
when you said it was a half hour at a church, I just... In my brain,
it's because it's spread out. It's because
in my brain, you were like in a little country house.
Well, no, because the church was out in the country.
Oh, yeah, that would make more sense, yeah. But see, that's perception and assumptions.
It is. I gotta get to...
Oh, you have open mic, right?
I do. I have to give some people some stuff, and... All
right, well...
Oh, Mark just sent text that...
all right, y'all, well...
Oh,
Matt,
sorry.
No, that's all right. See, we were just having such a good time, we forgot we were even recording.
Oh, yeah, then you gotta do the pleasantries, right? And acknowledge that there is an other.
Yeah,
that is not us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, part of this is like, I want it to sound like you walked into a conversation at the bar and just happened to enjoy it.
Well, if that was the case, then you'd get many Irish goodbyes from me.
Yes, you do.
Like, oh, sorry, by the way, for anybody who can't see, Matt's gone. So we'll see you next time.
All right, yeah, you all. I turned around and Matt left, so... Look for the Webster Street tapes. You can find it on the IGs and everything soon.
Yeah, it's not up yet.
No, yeah.
I did take I do have the picture I'm going to use for the first logo.
Nice.
I just need to do a little bit of work to it.
Yeah. So there'll be music coming. There'll be content coming. Eventually, we'll get all our shit together.
Well,
You'll meet
we'll
Matt and Anna again together, the three of us together at some point. So thank you, Matt, for joining us
Thank
and
you for having
hanging
me.
out. Have fun at
Always
Open
a
Mic
pleasure.
tonight.
Oh, I'm going to annoy some people with my goozla.
Ooh, I'm going to go check out Open Mic and enjoy some more joy in my day. And I hope you all find some joy. And thanks for joining us.